This is the replica of my car when I was 18. The original car was destroyed in a head-on collision after I sold it. But this is what we did in those days. We pulled the running boards off, took all the moldings and the badges off. It's got 41 Buick fender skirts, 50 Cadillac tail fins, Lincoln Continental spare tire kit, naturally has flamethrowers, and the engine is a 331 Cadillac motor. We really love those motors. That's what the moonshiners put in the tanker. 331 Cadillac. That was the forerunner of the small block Chevy. General Motors realized that engine was so good, they just made it lighter, they could put it in a Chevrolet, and that's what they did. And when I went to get the engine for my 39 Ford for a tow vehicle, this is when we flat towed. This is the flat tow in the dragster. I was doing it with my 50 Ford with a Mercury motor, it just wasn't fast enough, didn't have enough power. You know, to get around somebody on a two-lane, there's no interstate in these days. So I go down to Tim with the Claude Majors, and I say, I need a 331 Cadillac engine. And he says, Don, I don't have one. The moonshiners got all of them. They just left here last week, took every 331 Cadillac and every 3050 we had. But I got something better. I said, how could it be better, Claude, if the moonshiners didn't want it? He said, well, the moonshiners is a different situation. They can't have a big heavy engine because when they're making the turns in the mountains, the weight will wash out the front and they'll have to slow down. The revenuers will get them. He said, this is a 1954 Chrysler Hemi. It makes about 35 more horse than the Cadillac, and about a little extra weight not going to make any difference. You're just towing. I put a tape measure across the valve covers. It would fit into my car, and $450 later, I had it in my car. And I'll tell you, it was one of the best things I ever did, but I still didn't realize how important the engine was for racing. I thought it was just a good tow motor. But it was at McDill Field when it happened. The major that ran the base at McDill Field was a good friend of the hot rodder. And he built a set of clocks, ET and speed, and he would let the hot rodders come out to the base one day a month. And there's a perimeter road around McDill Field, which is still there. And he set the clocks up. It was a big, long straightaway. And he set the clocks up, and you get ET and speed on the same run, which was very unusual. At that point in time, mostly we just got either ET or speed. Mostly it was speed. That's all they cared about. So I made a couple of runs with my flathead. Not side by side, just time runs is all you could do. I went 110 miles an hour in 12 and a half seconds, and I broke the transmission. And I didn't have any parts. We didn't carry parts with us in those days. You didn't plan on breaking anything. And I told my wife, I said, I think I'll just make a couple of runs with the coupe just to keep me entertained. And she said, don't you break it 20 miles home. I said, I won't break it. I won't drive it hard. So I didn't go off the line real hard. I didn't speed shift. I just nice little run. That damn coupe ran 14 seconds flat, 114 miles an hour. And it weighed 3,800 pounds. That 1,250-pound dragster was 12 and a half seconds, 110. On the way home, I said to my wife, the first guy that puts one of these engines in a dragster is going to be hard to beat. She said, you better get on it. And I did. And that's what you see over there, the little blue frame. That's what I built. And that thing ran 128 miles an hour in the 10.